James here, Robertson Family Racing Pigeons. Hope this finds everybody well. So my poor birds, I was supposed to get new shipments of Versalaga feed, the kind that I really like. There are two kinds that I like, the black label and then also the classic stuff. Here's a bag from the classic. Love this stuff. That stuff's just been awesome. Anyways, the shipment was ruined in transit, so I didn't get it. And so I've been a couple days. I just had to go to my local feed store and get whatever they had, which was this. And this is not that great, as you can see. Not a lot of diversity. It's just mostly a bunch of wheat and Milo. I mean, so my poor birds for the last several days have just been eating this. But I've also mixed it with some popcorn. And then I also have safflower that I've been mixing in there too. So anyways, I'm just really glad that they aren't feeding youngsters right now, because the youngsters would need a high protein diet, which would include a lot of peas, which I don't have right now. So I'm supposed to get that shipment tomorrow, the replacement shipment. My fingers are crossed. So anyways, I'm gonna mix up their little temporary mix and then go out and check on the birds. All right. You can grab one of those. Grab a couple of these. Yep. And I'm just gonna mix it in there. So, I mean, I guess that's respectable considering we're just trying to throw this together. Put some popcorn in there for the cold weather and a little bit of fat with the safflower and then some peas, a bunch of Milo and wheat. So, dinner time. Go serve it up. All right, walking out my basement steps. You can see, got lots of snow. The other thing you can see are several fence posts put in. Yep, getting that fence in. Making progress. Will look awesome when we're done. And should keep a dog in. Okay, I'm also going to talk about what I'm going to do to mitigate the problems I had with 278 and Marie Curie getting kicked out of their nest. I'm going to do that in just a minute. I'm going to give these guys a little more food first, though. Let's close that. All right, a little bit low light. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Eat up. Good birds. Okay. I need to scrape in here. Do that in just a sec. Not been happy with these two. It's mostly the hen, fly girl. Just not getting eggs from her. I got the one initial egg and that was it. So there is 278 driving Marie Curie. I don't even know where he's driving her to. I think he's driving her to that corner. I put a little nestful over there because he was hanging out inside that waste bucket that I used to put the scrapings in. So I think he was planning on nesting right there, and I obviously. Do not want that to happen. Gave him an upgrade. Well, he's about to get a really great upgrade. I'm about to put him in this section, and we're gonna do some switching of eggs and where everybody is. So, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to come get the eggs over here from Thing 1 and Lavender and put them under Djibouti and Big Boy. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because, you know, this isn't really the best environment for raising a set of youngsters with all these other birds here who are not raising youngsters. It'd be easy for the babies to get scalped. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna float those eggs to another pair and then move Lavender and Thing 1 over to the breeding side. And I'll set them up with a little box on the floor. So then, temporarily, I'm going to put these two guys in this young bird section, just for a little bit, just for a few days. And then I'm going to move 278 and Marie Curie over here. They were over here when I had the hens and cocks still separated, and they were still pretty new to my loft. And so I had them in here, and she did lay a set of eggs and she laid them down in that corner. So I'm basically just gonna put a nest bowl in each corner, and then she'll lay there probably tonight or tomorrow. Looking at how much 278 is driving her, I think it's gonna happen either today or tomorrow. So that is the master plan. Now, time to put it into action. So if you have not already subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would do so. I love getting people's comments and feedback. Always welcome. And again, if there's anything you want me to address in my videos, I'm happy to do that. All right, here we go. All right. So Thing 1 went back and he's sitting on the nest. I just got some dummy eggs. These are just plastic eggs, and I'll put them under him just for a little bit. There you go, buddy. Sit on those. All right, so one thing I am gonna do, oh, hey, by the way, check this out. Pretty cool, right? Gift from my in-laws. Awesome, awesome. Jar loft. Pretty sweet. Robertson Family Racing Pigeons. Anyway, what I am gonna do is, so this is one of Thing 1's eggs. I'm gonna write Thing 1 on there. You know? It's always good to carefully manage things when you move things around. There it is, Thing 1. And I'll write that on nest box. You know, it's not that big of a deal for me because I only have 6 breeding pairs. It's pretty easy to keep track of what's going on. But for someone who has a big loft with, you know, 30 breeding pairs, they've got to be very meticulous in keeping records on where they're floating eggs and, you know, what they're doing with their eggs and pairs. So, there we go. Thing 1's eggs. Time to go put them under Big Boy and Djibouti. All right, here we go. Walking in. All right, breeders. How are you guys doing? Kind of dark, yes. Let's do the old switcheroo. All right, there's Djibouti. Okay, I'm just bringing these out into the light so you can see. This is one of Thing 1's eggs, and that's Djibouti's egg. But it's just kind of interesting because Djibouti always lays these little more rounded eggs than is typical of racing pigeons or other pigeons. You know, this side on the left is a little more what's typical. Interesting. Cool. You kind of see that in different birds. They produce different shape of eggs, and the youngsters have different traits about them, but she's pretty consistent with making these little rounded eggs. These guys are still warm. Let's go get you guys underneath the bird. Okay, so there's 278 and Marie Curie. I've got a nest bowl in the two far corners and a nest bowl in that corner. So they've got some options there. And for the next round, I can set up a little shelf on the wall here, which we can put a nest bowl up there, make a little temporary nest box. This is not the most convenient solution to the problem, but it's probably the wisest, just because this is my most important pair this year that I want to try out, and so I have to give them priority. They weren't doing so well, fending for themselves in the breeder section, being relatively new in the loft. 278 didn't have time to really establish a box as his own. But anyway, so they're in here now, and we'll see what they do. Meanwhile, I've got to think of what I'm going to do with Kronos and who to put him up with, because I don't think Fly Girl, is going to be cranking out viable eggs. Even if she cranked out some eggs, one egg, and started sitting on it, that'd be at least sufficient to float another pair's eggs underneath her, and she could be a foster parent. But they didn't do that, so we had to intervene. Anyways, everyone else is doing well. Okay, so we've got the Cuevas hand. She's doing good. Set this back up. Of course, one of my favorites, Athena. Just a really outstanding, gorgeous hen. She was first on a 300-mile race as a youngster, and then 13th on another 300-mile race as a young bird. There's Fat Bottom Girl, looking good. Good job, Fat Bottom Girl. It's always kind of hard to get these in place one-handed. There we go. Then we've got Black Widow sitting in there. Good job, Black Widow. All right, more soon. I'll let you know how these guys settle in their new environments. I'm gonna move Thing 1 and Lavender over here probably tomorrow, and I'll provide an update on that as well. Adios.